Let intention drive you. Stay humble. Love what you do. Greetings to everyone currently watching this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I am Notobego Sisonke Shabango and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I haven't uploaded a video in ages, like it's been a year and some time. I don't really have a solid reason why, but I guess I was just going through life, and some things you just have to end up taking a conscious and intentional decision and saying, hey, I'm actually going to pursue that. So after some time, I've decided, hey man, let me get back to this, so today, or perhaps I should say throughout the month of June, I'm just going to be talking about things that I have learned and unlearned in the process of growing up, I guess, navigating my 20s, as I'd like to put it. I'm just going to share two things today because I am really trying to make sure that my videos are short and everyone can consume them as fast as they possibly can. So I'm going to share a story, something that happened in 2014. I was still in high school at that time, yes. I attended a program that, it was a leadership program. It was basically different schools, different races, different genders, It covered, everyone. And we played a game there. We played a game called The Race of Life. And I'm sharing this because it's one of the main things I feel like one has to learn and unlearn, because learning and unlearning is intertwined. So this game was called The Race of Life. And what happened was the facilitator basically read out statements, and the instruction for us as the learners, we either had to step forward, stand where we are, or step back. So we all stood in a line, and the facilitator read the first statement, and first instruction statement, whatever it is. And he said, take a step forward if you have access to a laptop at home, laptop or computer. And then people who had access to laptops and computers and step forward, right? I was in boarding school at that time, so I didn't really have access to a laptop, computer, whatever, so I stood where I was. And then read the second statement. Step forward if you have access to books at any time. They took a step forward. I also didn't really have books like anytime. I couldn't get them anytime that I wanted to get them. So it was like, okay, cool. So we're still standing. Then he read another instruction and said, step forward if you go on vacation during the holidays, during the school holidays. And then he went on to emphasize that I'm not talking about visiting your grandma, I'm not talking about all of those things, but step forward. Some people kept on stepping forward, and some of us were still out here. Like there were several statements. I can't remember some of them, but just the last one I can still remember was step backwards if you've ever been mugged, stabbed, and all of those things. So people took a step back who've gone through such. So the game was called The Race of Life, and I think I took so many lessons from that. Now that I think about it, like now that I reflect, it's the fact that we don't start at the same place. We're not afforded the same opportunities. We're not same people. You know, we have different life experiences, and it is very important for you as a person to know where you come from, be self-aware enough to know where you come from and know where you're going. Obviously, you're gonna meet people on your journey, and you're gonna meet all sorts of people. Some you're gonna love, some you're gonna like, some you're gonna dislike, some you're gonna, all of these things. Some are gonna become your friends and whatsoever. But it's very important to know who you are, know where you started. And I also realized that for some people, their shortfalls or shortcomings might actually be their greatest advantages. The fact that I went to boarding school, as much as so many people say it's a prison, blah blah blah, all of these things, but truth is, I learned so much in boarding school, and I'm probably so independent and so self-aware, and so all of these things, all because of that entire experience. So whatever experiences that you've been through, whatever that you have, challenges you've come across, whatever scars that you have, that is your competitive advantage, you know. And whatever that you maybe received from your family, your parents, whatever it is, like anything, it all depending on your perspective, everything can be an advantage, can be used to your own advantage. But one of the main things I've had to unlearn is the fact that we're not equal. We don't start from the same place. We don't start from the same point. We do not have the same opportunities. And the moment you realize that, and the moment you make peace with that, I think you are able to sort of navigate your life, or navigate life as a whole, in a different way. And you're also clearer on what you want to stand for and all of those things. So just know that regardless of who you come across, you guys are not the same. You guys are not necessarily equal, and not that there's someone who's superior or inferior, like all of that, but it's just realizing that, hey, I actually need to know what I'm about. I need to know my vision. I need to know where I'm going, because it's very easy to get diluted in the way, and you know, to have people basically taking your different route, whereas you just have to constantly remember where you come from and where you're going. And those two things are very, 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 very important. So we're not equal. However, we all have our own competitive advantage, but we are just not equal. And this is not even a racial thing. It's not even a status thing. It's just literally understanding that my neighbor was raised differently from how I was raised, and that makes us already two completely different people. And understanding that this is my own journey, and her own journey is her own journey, you know. So the second thing that I've come to learn, perhaps this one I have to learn consistently, is the power of self-forgiveness. And this is something that my mom taught me. I did something, I think I was a teen. No, not I think. I know I was a teen at that time. I did something very disappointing. And then she said to me, it's now the next step is for you to forgive yourself. I didn't even know that as a human being you have to forgive yourself. Like literally, I didn't know that you have to forgive yourself. I didn't even understand what she meant at that time. Now that I think about it, like I didn't know what she was talking about. But I've come to learn and to realize the fact that it is very important to forgive yourself after like disappointing yourself, because the first person we hurt, perhaps we might be focused so much on like external view and like your parents, your family, but truth of the matter is you are like the first person who gets hurt. Like when you hurt yourself, you get hurt first, and when someone hurts you, you get hurt first. So before it falls or comes upon everyone else. So it's very important to forgive yourself if you've like faced a disappointing time or disappointed yourself, or made a decision that doesn't reflect the person that you are, made a decision that, you know, whatever, that like sucked. Just go to the mirror and say, hey, I'm sorry that I disappointed you, but next time we're gonna do better. And when you do, and when you say you're gonna do better, please actually do better. It is very easy to say you're gonna do better and just go the other way around. And there's a very thin line between accountability and being hard on yourself. It's also very important to understand that accountability is when you know when you've made a mistake and you own up to it, and then you pick up the lesson and try to not repeat it again. Whereas being hard on yourself, beating yourself up for like days on end, months on end, hey, there's this quote that I like. We move. It is very important to move, and self-forgiveness basically allows you to move on from things, allows you to move on from whatever disappointments, whatever, but just move. It's very important to move. So wishing all of you guys like tons of forgiveness. I say that at times. Wishing you guys tons of self-forgiveness, and just understanding the fact that you are you and you are unique. I never used to understand, like I found it cliche to say, oh, you're unique, you're special in your own way. But truth is, you are unique, you're special in your own way, and you have your own competitive advantage. And sometimes what you look at as a bad experience, what you look at as a failure, actually makes you way better, way more wiser, way more ahead. So you may never know, guys. So that's just it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to come through next week Friday for the next episode. Stay tuned with me. Bye.